Quantum healing, the future of medicine.
So when we're getting smacked around by the negative, oh, here comes another thing, and oh, here comes another one, and the demons, we're getting tested, guys. We're getting tests. These are tests to see how well we can stay rooted, balanced, and grounded in amongst chaos. It is the role of the dark forces to create hatred, fear, and chaos. That's what they do. You'll find some people have to help and defend that. Some people are all for it. We're all in different stages, but let's say you are getting rocked by this. It's not going to go away. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you that, but it's only going to increase at this point. So the best way is to find a way to stay very grounded, rooted, and in balance, and unshakable, no matter what happens. I think I've talked before about, training that I've had with a spiritual master, where that was a very big, it's a very high spiritual understanding. It's a very high way of being, that your world does not get rocked to pieces by everything these demons are throwing at us. It is not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it can be done if you're working hard at it. You say, I'm not going to get pushed off this pedestal. I am beautifully balanced. I feel great. I feel rooted. And no matter what is happening and what gets thrown at me, it's just going to get deflected and it will not knock me off my pedestal. And I remember the words so clearly, and I've read them as well, but I heard them in person. We should remain exactly the same person, the same being as if we inherited the whole world. We gained the whole world was given to us. Or our whole world that we had was taken from us and we end up with nothing. Whether we end up with nothing, whether we end up with everything that you can imagine, we remain at the center, the same loving, rooted, balanced being. And we don't get affected by emotions. We don't get swayed by our emotions. Emotions and mind control needs to be kept very strongly in place. You have to work at that. You can't have something happen where you just completely fall apart. You can't have things happen that you so elated that you lose your balance again as well. So that's why I've said the theme of this, it's the best advice at this point that I can give for myself, because I'm definitely having to practice this, and for others if they wish to share it, especially parents of children. Children don't know what's happening here. This is the craziest environment for children to grow up that I can even imagine. I had an incredible, tough childhood, but the place where I grew up was just so magical and so incredible and so spiritual that now I look back and I'm so grateful for that, because I'm looking at these children. I don't even know what to say. What must they think? So therefore, it's our job to protect our children, number one, protect them to the death. I really feel that strongly, that if we have to protect them to the death, that's what we do. But these kids, they're incredible beings that are coming onto the planet right now. Absolutely phenomenal, very high consciousness children that, of course, are getting attacked left and right by these demons. And the way they're doing that is in the school system, where they've got no chance. They kind of divide them, take them away from the parents. And I don't think I need to talk too much about that. I think we're all aware of the horror of what's been going on with our children and what seems to be getting worse and worse. And the more we can be aware of it and the more we can spread the word about that, the more hopefully parents will come out and start to protect their children and find ways to make sure they're not trapped in these demonic ideas that are being thrown at children. They can't possibly debate them at such a young age. So there was something I wanted to share with you on that. There was an incredible, I don't know if anyone knows about, there's a fantastic Hungarian composer, classical, He just writes absolutely beautiful music. It's music, orchestral music, but he combines all kinds of instruments in there with sound and singing. I mean, he's pretty phenomenal, and I never see him pushed over here in the United States. So whoever may be listening in the United States, please tune into Havasi. It is spelled H-A, V for Victor, A, S for sugar, I for Ingrid. Havasi. He writes some amazing music, and you can pick it up on YouTube, and I'm very limited on the computer. I try to stay away from it as much as possible. So I'm sure there's other places where you can access his music, but that's the name of the composer. He's young, brilliant, very formally trained. So people that, love the classics and love the older operas, etc., will absolutely adore him, but he puts a very modern spin on it, which I think is very positive as we're going into we're seeking these new paradigms, and we're thinking outside of the box, and everyone should be thinking outside the box. No matter what you do, think outside the box. Take that thing and go outside of the box and say, where could this go in a positive way? What could it actually be? It is this at this moment, but what could it be in the future? Where could I take this thing into new ventures, new places for people to enjoy and appreciate? You'll find that that's quite beneficial when you can train yourself to always think, seeing any kind of question or something you're dwelling on or researching. You can look at it one side of the coin and then flip it over to the other side. What is the opposite of that? If we go into the opposite of that, what does that look like? I do this work and this is what it looks like. But what if I flip that around and I do something, integrate my work into something that's even the opposite? Infiltrate a new idea, a new creative idea into what I'm already doing, improving it, making it better, finding a better way to do it. There's always a better way to do everything, always. And this is the great thing that we have as we're shifting into different dimensions, is that we have that opportunities opening to us. That opportunity to think outside the box, to create a new paradigm. We've been encouraged to do it. We're going where no man's gone for a long, 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 long time. This is our opportunity. So if we want to look at the negative and dwell on all this fear and chaos and tragedy and emotional upsets and freaking, we can do that. But you definitely don't have to do that. You can turn away from all of that and just let it sink away into the deep of the ocean. I had this incredible vision one day, and I saw myself being trapped and chained to a group of people. They were sinking. We were in the water, and I was attached to these are people that I loved. Right or wrong, I loved this group of people, and clearly they were not able to bring up that kind of power to swim towards the light. They were getting dragged down, and they had these chains on them, but chains that you could easily take off. Let's say it was a chain around your wrist, but you could just uncoil it and leave it behind. And I had to make that choice because I could see where they were going, and it was getting darker and darker and more gray down there. It's not where I wanted to be. So I had to, in this vision, say goodbye and release myself from these chains. And of course it was, the whole effect of being in water. I was just pulled up towards the surface for oxygen. I needed oxygen. And I broke the surface and just gasping for air. Just suddenly finding myself on this island of just these beautiful clear blue water, crystal clear water, and these gorgeous trees and the trade winds and these beaches. It was absolute utopia, and it was a beautiful sunny day, blue skies, sun was out, and it was just such a relief. But I had to leave a lot of people behind in order to experience that ecstasy of the quantum, really. We have to make that choice now, unfortunately, and I know it's painful for a lot of people. They have to be involved. Lots of people don't want to be involved. That's fine, but that's not helping the status quo. and it's not helping ultimately your own dimensional shift. You can't pretend to not see these things and not participate. I will leave you with that. But Havasi you should check into, and there's a particular song that is, I would say, very one with what we're talking about, the theme of this, Be Unshakable. So I'll give you the hints of that. I found it on YouTube. It's a video, music video, and there's two. There's one where it's done live, and I'm not talking about that one. There was just a beautiful video made of Havasi, who's playing the piano, and the singer, and they're sitting in this sort of Arctic area of storms and so forth. And that's the one. It's called The Storm Feet. Feet being F-E-A-T, period. And the singer is Lisa Gerard, Gerrard, and it would be in parenthesis the official music video. So it's Havasi, The Storm Feet, period, Lisa Gerard, official music video. If you see her standing there on sort of like an iceberg, that is the correct one. So don't get confused. I mean, the music is beautiful, but that particular video really is an amazing example of staying calm and staying grounded and staying serene in amongst all of this chaos. And in the meantime, putting out something absolutely positive. In her case, this beautiful singing voice, and in his case, this incredible music affecting others in a wonderful way. So I would love it if you would look at that music video, because I really think that says it all.